Kakasibak lamang na PNP Chief General na si Nicolas Torre binigyan ng opsyon ng Malacanang na mag-retire na lamang. Administrasyon, sinabing wala naman umanong nilabag na batas si Torre pero kailangan na talagang palitan. Torre, tinapon na lang basta-basta matapos gamitin upang maaresto si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte ng ICC. Sigaw ng taong bayan ay mag-traffic enforcer na lamang si former General Nicolas Torre dahil lahat ng kanyang kayabangan ay may katapusan. Siya na rin umano ang record holder sa pagiging pinakamaagang nasibak na general sa kasaysayan ng PNP. Pero bago ang lahat, mag-subscribe na sa aking YouTube channel upang updated ka sa mga mahahalagang balita sa ating bansa. Ayon nga sa pahayag ni John Vic Remulla, a difficult but necessary decision. DILG Secretary John Vic Remulla, PNP Chief clarified that General Nicolas Torre III was relieved not because he broke any laws but to uphold institutional integrity. Meanwhile, Remulla said that Torre has the option of retiring or staying, but the question of the 4-star will be with the NAPOLCOM to take up. The President believes that his national security apparatus must always work within the framework of the law. With the recent developments, the President was presented with the facts and he determined that the best course of action is to uphold the role of the NAPOLCOM as it was intended by law. Remulla said, end quote.
The SILG will deliver a statement on matters that bear vital and necessary information for our people. After his statement, we will open the floor for questions from the members of the press. We ask for your cooperation in keeping the discussion orderly so the public may receive the clarity it deserves. May I now call Secretary John Vic for his statement.
Thank you very much. Good morning to all of you. Thank you very much for your presence here. I have a statement from our department. The Palace affirms that President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has made the difficult but necessary decision to relieve PNP Chief Police General Nicolas Torre III of his duties. The President believes that his national security apparatus must always work within the framework of the law. With the recent developments, the President was presented with the facts, and he determined that the best course of action is to uphold the role of NAPOLCOM as it was intended by law. As part of this resolution, the President decided to relieve Police General Torre. This was not an easy choice, but it was made in the national interest. The President is committed to ensuring a unified direction and collaboration across all areas in his cabinet, particularly those responsible for delivering security, peace, and order. The President expresses his thanks and gratitude to Police General Torre, as his brief tenure brought new life and energy into the PNP. Nevertheless, the mission must continue. The Filipinos must be safe. To this end, the President has directed the incoming PNP Chief, General Matapos, together with the Secretary of the Interior and Local Government, to present within 1 month a comprehensive citizen security strategy focused on increasing police presence throughout the country and ensuring that every Filipino feels secure in their communities. That's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Secretary. So we will now start with the questions. I remind everyone to only ask 2 questions each so that it can be orderly po. So first, here is Ms. Leah Ilagan from UNTV. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Sir, can you enlighten us kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng difficult but necessary?
The President is very fond of General Torre. In his brief tenure as chief and even before that as CIDG, the President and General Torre have had a wonderful and productive relationship. However, there comes a crossroads in a President's decision-making that he has to make the tough but necessary decisions to push his agenda forward.
Sir, itatanong ko yung tanong din ng marami. Ano yung reason bakit inalis po si General Torre?
Precisely because we are a country of laws and not of men, that the institutions must be larger than the people who run it. And in this case, the President saw it necessary that the institution of the PNP and the NAPOLCOM be upheld as according to the spirit of the law as it was created.
Sir, may connection ba ito doon sa So, follow up na lang, sir. Last na, sorry. Sir, para lang mabuo yung storya. Sir, may connection ba ito doon sa nakaraang resolution ng NAPOLCOM na hindi po nasunod? Parang hindi naglabas o hindi na sunod ni General Torre? Yung NAPOLCOM resolution ng mga reshuffle ng mga opisyal?
That, among other things, is part of the consideration of the President.
Thank you, Ms. Leah.
Thank you, sir.
Third, Ann Malonzo from Sunstar.
Sir, good morning. Sir, so my first question, saan na po ngayon ang i-assign si General Torre and what will happen, sir? Kasi nasa kanya yung 4-star.
Yes, that issue, General Torre has been informed of his leave. He has the option of retiring or staying, but the question of the 4-star will be with the NAPOLCOM to take up. But that is a collateral issue only to that who will be running the PNP, which will be formally, as of today, General Nagatas.
Any words, nag-usap na po kayo ni General Torre about this matter, sir?
I have tried to get in touch with him. I made 5 phone calls last night. I think he was in a dinner, but he was duly informed, properly informed of the decision of the President.
Okay. Ma'am, last, hindi kayo sinagot, sir? Hindi kayo sinagot ni General Torre?
We have our own forms of communication, and he did acknowledge.
Thank you, Mr. Mark Makalalad of DCWB.
Ay, Secretary, good morning. Obviously, yung pag-relieve kay Chief PNP, unpopular decision, dahil nagkaroon ng conflict previously sa resolution ng NAPOLCOM and PNP. Hindi po napatupad yung order. So, how do you intend to manage the public's perception na yung leadership ng PNP ngayon is stable sa kabila ng pagpapalit ng leadership is stable? And
Yes.
wala po itong bahid ng politika.
That is precisely why we are doing this, because we want to take politics out of the equation. When you have issues arising, you must resolve it according to the rules of the institution, and that's what we are doing. This is not a popularity contest. This is a question of maintaining the integrity of the institution.
Sir, binalikan ko yung resolution ng NAPOLCOM 2025-0531 adopted last August 14 states that non-compliance with the requirements wherein prescribed shall subject accountable officers to administrative sanctions. So, itong pag-relieve kay General Torre, parte ng sanctions dahil hindi sa pagsunod doon sa NAPOLCOM resolution?
There is no sanction. The NAPOLCOM has not taken any sanctions as a body, nor has it been discussed, nor has it been filed. This is a personal decision of the President, and he has, after careful perusal of the facts, the order came from the office of the President and not the NAPOLCOM.
Okay.
Go ahead. Just go ahead.
Yung 4-star, kailan po makakuha ni General Matapos?
You will learn about that sooner, as soon as the NAPOLCOM board convenes again next week.
Okay, thank you po.
Thank you. Mr. Ednil Paroza from DCRH.
Sir, follow up lang dun sa last question. So, yung turnover officially kay General Matapos ay mangyayari ngayon?
Yes.
Sir, balikan lang namin, sir, yung comments or yung actions ng Malacanang. Ano yung exact comments ng Presidente patapos ng medyo pagkakaiba doon sa NAPOLCOM order? Tinangkain niyo bang mamagitan ng reserva?
Well, as I read nung binasa ko, he has to make sure that the national security apparatus is always in one direction. And in this case, there was the President felt that he had to straighten things out, and the decision was made to replace General Torre.
Ano na lang, sir, yung marching order ng Presidente sa bagong PNP Chief kay General Matapos?
Well, as I stated earlier, the PNP Chief and I will have to present within 1 month a comprehensive citizen security strategy focused on public safety.
May mga inaasahan ba tayo, sir, na drastic changes doon sa response natin sa 911 at iba pang programs na in-implement ngayon sana ni PNP Chief Torre?
I do not believe that is part of the agenda. We will launch the Unified 911 on September 12, and General Nartates will take cognizance over that. It is an improved system. It is a more responsive system, and I think the people will see the difference. But from now till then, the 5-minute rule of General Nartates, of General Torre, will still be in effect, and we expect General Nartates to continue the good works that General Torre has started.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Manny Tupaz from Philippine Star.
Sec, good morning. Sir, magmula nung nag-assume si PNP Chief last June 2, from the very start ba, may mga disagreements na kayo ever since?
No, never. PNP Chief and I have always had a great relationship. Remember, I only entered the SILG last October, and that's the first time I met him. And from then till now, our relationship is, I would care to say that it is stellar. we've never had disagreements, and save for the last few days about certain things. And until now, I still consider him not only as a colleague, but someone who I've gone to battle with and who I trusted big decisions of the president with.
Second one. Okay. Apart dun sa NAPOLCOM reso, may nabanggit kayo among other things. Ano pa yung mga other issues kay Chief PNP na nagkaroon ng consideration bakit siya kaya?
That is between the national security apparatus and him, and that is an executive privilege we cannot divulge.
Okay, thank you so much. Mr. Mon Galvez of TV5.
Hi, sir. Good morning. Sir, this is actually baka repetitive question na lang, pero just to clarify, you mentioning a while ago that this is a country of laws and not of men. Ano po talaga yung pinakanilabag ni General Torre? Bakit po siya nasibak?
He did not violate any laws. He has not been charged with any violations. He has not been charged criminally nor administratively. It is simply a choice of the president to take a new direction for the PNP.
Medyo vague. Medyo vague.
What is more vague than he violated, and he didn't violate any laws. He didn't violate any. He has not been charged with any administrative case. He has not been charged with any criminal case. But he is a presidential appointee who serves at the pleasure of the president, and the president has made a decision to go in another direction.
So more on trust and confidence lang po ito. More on trust and confidence lang.
The president reserves the right to see what is best fit for the PNP.
Last na lang po sa akin. I don't think, hindi ko po alam kung tama yung research lang namin, but General Torre will be serving the shortest term in the history of the Philippine National Police. How does this affect the morale of the police force?
Well, I think I am confident that the police force is very professional. I think that they observe their duties, and I think 99.9% of them will uphold their oath to maintain allegiance to the country and to the president.
Okay, thank you so much. Mr. Vince Lopez of Manila Standard.
Sir, good morning. Sir, for the duration na Chief PNP si General Torre, may mga na-relieve yung mga officers. What would be the magiging ng mga official na yun, sir? And kung mababalik ba sila, reinstatement?
That is a NAPOLCOM issue. As according to NAPOLCOM law, NAPOLCOM procedures, level 3 going up is up to will be taken up by the NAPOLCOM board, and the NAPOLCOM will convene this week and reconstitute the leadership of the Philippine National Police.
Okay, thank you so much. Mr. Jairo Boledo of Rappler.
Hi sir, good morning. Jairo Rappler. Sir, hingin lang namin sana yung information. Baka, ano po ba yung initial na reaction or pagtanggap po ni General Torre when the NAPOLCOM issued the memorandum po? Did he promise to the President to fulfill the said memorandum, sir? Thank you.
That will be revealed on a later date. There are documents that are still sealed, which will be brought forth henceforth after the NAPOLCOM reviews it.
Last question for me, sir. In relation to Vince's question, the NAPOLCOM reversed a few assignments made by the President, made by PNP Chief Torre, including some of the appointments in CIDG and all that. Ano na po mangyayari doon sa order na yun ng NAPOLCOM?
Again, the NAPOLCOM will constitute again this week, and then we will review all the appointments and make the necessary recommendations to the President.
Okay, thank you so much. Before we continue, following this question and answer, we will move to the next part of our program, the official assumption of office. So, Mr. Mark Gabriel, please, from Net25.
Sec, good morning po. Sec, hindi naman pingit sa atin pero na conflict between yung NAPOLCOM resolution and the PNP leadership. And lately, naglabas din ng mga manifesto of support yung other units ng PNP to support General Torre. Sa tingin mo, magkakaroon ng conflict po dito sa nangyari?
Hindi naman. I think those statements were done in an emotional state. I think in the end, they will follow their oaths and be true to their service. We do not consider it in any way as such, other than as a statement of support. We do not color it with anything else except that. So we do not expect anything different from the service after this turnover occurs.
Sec, tanong lang. Did you recommend the relief of General Torre after this conflict?
Sir, that is a prerogative of the President. I have no say whatsoever, nor did I advise whatsoever. A chief PNP is the sole body, the sole entity to tackle such an appointment, or relief is only from the office of the President.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Jason Gigales of Inquirer.
Good morning, SILG. Paano po if hindi po nag-retire si General Torre po? Kung ayaw po niya mag-retire, if he doesn't give up that rank po, that position, that 4-star position?
That will be taken by the NAPOCOM. However, I was privy to a conversation that the President is considering him for another post in government. And we will know soon if General Torre will accept.
Okay, sir. Second question ko lang po on my end. With the appointment po of Nartates, would you happen to know po, ano po yung rationale behind his appointment? Ano po yung reason particularly behind him being selected for this, to replace Torre po?
Again, your question was...
ano pong rationale behind Nartates being the selection to replace Torre?
Well, General Nartates has served the PNP with distinction, much less with honor and with integrity. The President, while ruminating through the papers and through the qualifications, so that General Nartates was best qualified to be the next chief PNP.
Okay, thank you so much. Ms. Marlene Padiernos of DZMM.
Hi, Sec. Sir, nabalitan niyo kanina walang nalabag na naging paglabag si General Torre na posibleng naging dahilan ng kanyang pagkakasibak po sa service, sa pwesto po. However, sir, ano po ba yung nakikita niyo hindi ba na siya sa servisyo ni General Torre? And nung nalaman po ninyo na aalisin siya bilang Chief PNP, nagawa niyo ba siyang, nagkaroon po ba ng pagdepensa kahit paano para mapastay siya doon sa kanyang
Okay, in terms of the reasons behind it, again, I defer to the President. He is the sole entity to answer that. We just received orders. I can, with all honesty, say that the General Torre and I talked several times regarding the situation, and even the President and him talked several times, and the conversations were very candid and very. There was no intensity to it. And it didn't lead to anything more than conclusions after that by the President.
Sir, I understand na banggit niyo na po kanina na wala kayong inaasahang conflict within the Philippine National Police kung sakali man dahil dito po sa biglaang pagkapalit ng HEPE. However, sir, nung nakaraan kasi nabanggit kanina may mga nagpahayag na pagsuporta kay kay Sir General Torre, and may ilan po na nanawagan pa ng pagbabago po sa serbisyo sa pwesto bilang SILG. Ano ho ang inyo pong thoughts about this, and if ever may mga ginagawa tayong paghahanda?
Like General Torre, I serve at the pleasure of the President. So I leave it up to him kung anong decision niya tungkol sa akin.
Okay, thank you so much. Mr. Mark Obleda of Police File Tonight. No question.